really about it in Oklahoma City. I mean, I go to a lot of cities in America, but really all around the world. And a lot of cities treat animals, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? People have dogs and cats, and people embrace them as these lovely, you know, beautiful creatures. That it's a luxury. We're lucky to have them. And in Oklahoma City, where I live, I don't know what happened, but 30 years ago or so, it seemed like if someone brought in 1,000 dogs and they fucked for 1,000 weeks and they made 1 million dogs that nobody claims as their own. And so there's one day, this is about 8 years ago now, Coldplay came through Oklahoma City, and I know Chris Martin quite well, and we did what I call as the Flaming Lips tour of Oklahoma City. And I say, there's the first place the Flaming Lips played, and there's where we shot Christmas on Mars, and there's my mother's house, you know. But along the way, it was during a summer day, hotter than this in Oklahoma City, we came across 3 dead dogs in the streets of Oklahoma City, which to me is pretty common, that a dog will just get run over and people will just leave it in the street. And when it's a hot day like this, after about a day, it smells like it should, like shitty death, and nobody cares. But I was with Chris Martin on this day, and we drove around and we saw a dead dog, and he said, "What happened?" I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming a dog was running across the street, someone ran it over, and there it is. We came across another. He's like, "My God, what happened here today?" And I was like, it occurred to me that that's how normal it gets and how offensive it should be, that these animals don't have a home and nobody seems to be able to do anything about it. So everybody that I know, most of our friends and most of my brothers and sisters, we all have 4 or 5 dogs, and we have 4 or 5 cats because we take them in off the streets and we give them homes. But it's too big of a problem. So I always, as much as I can, I try to help all the shelters and all the volunteers. People don't realize even something like a Bonnaroo, how many of people are volunteering? They aren't here to make money. They're here because they love it. And so these people in Oklahoma City, the one charity that we're giving a lot of the money to this year is an all volunteer charity, and they don't have a place where they have a bunch of dogs. What they do is they get dogs out of shelters and they have families adopt them. And I think this is going to be the way that it works. You know, we don't really want to see, you know, a big farm full of 10,000 dogs out there. Dogs want to be in your bed with you watching TV, and you know, that's what they're made to do. And so I think these people really understand that, and they help. And especially in the neighborhood that I come from, I'm lucky I'm not low income, but the neighborhood I live in is very low income. And if you have a dog that's sick and you take it to a vet, well, it costs you a lot of money. And the only alternative is to not let your animal go to the vet, and perhaps it gets sicker and dies. And they help low-income families that have pets, and that's the way. That is the way, you know? And record that we're doing, we're talking about the Sgt. Pepper's record that we, you know,
I get by with a little help from my twins.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And this thing it's not going to be finished till October, but you can buy it now. But I want everybody to know, anybody that helps me with this, in 5 years in Oklahoma City, you're going to get there and you're going to have helped this problem go away. And in 5 years, hopefully, I'm not still trying to raise money for homeless dogs in Oklahoma City, because we'll have fucking fixed it. And all these people, Miley Cyrus included, is helping us. So I urge you, anybody that says anything negative about any of my people, we're going to get those motherfuckers. All right? Now, I mean, we played with Dr. Dog at a festival in Arkansas, Wakarusa, about a week ago. And they knew about this record that I was doing. And just last night, a week later, on their bus, we listened to their version of that song on the record, It's Getting Better. And so that's what it's all about. This isn't about people making money, people becoming famous. They're helping me with this horrible plight that's happening in Oklahoma City that I think we can fix.
It seems you contemplate the universality of life and death quite a bit. I mean, the entire Soft Bulletin album, not the entire album, but there's that common thread running through the album. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Well, again, I don't think you can know that you're doing it. I think, if you're lucky, I've had a long time of creating art and making music and recording music and writing songs and having people help me with all that sort of stuff. And I think if you're lucky, this thing that's untangible, unspeakable, unknowable quality is urged out of you. And I think the only way that you make that happen is by rejecting the stuff that you know doesn't work, and you somehow keep the stuff that you think is working, because it's just based on something about the way you feel, but a lot of it is in your subconscious. And we don't really know what's in our subconscious. If we're some evil motherfuckers back there, we don't really know. We're out here, in our conscious world trying the best we can. But I think I'm lucky that the thing, when my subconscious gets to drive what we do, I think it has a very humanistic, optimistic quality. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not really the one in control of that. I think our subconscious is pulling the strings of our life, and we're not always in control of that, for the better or for the worse. But I think the best of our music, that very heart of that thing that communicates these things that are impossible to talk about, I think it's in there. I think I'm very lucky because I don't know where it is, but it's in there. It's like if I had to analyze it, I'm like, I don't fucking know, but it's in there. Even when I hear it now, I'm like, those guys, they're searching, Yeah.